All right, so today we're going to be heading out into the garden to harvest some comfrey. Now, comfrey is an amazing plant. It's a very hardy plant. I mean, I think that you could throw that plant anywhere and it will thrive. And it really does good in the garden because it can be used as like a fertilizer. It brings in pollinators. And then the plant itself, although it's not edible, it's actually toxic. You wouldn't want to eat it. But as far as topically, it can be used for many different ailments. And I pulled it up here just to kind of go over some of them with you. It says that comfrey promotes tissue regeneration, it reduces inflammation, and relieves joint pain. It is used exclusively as a topical treatment because it contains toxic compounds, and so you do not want to ingest them. It could severely damage the liver, but the topical uses can be for sprains and bruises and joint and muscle pain and wound care. Now, I have read if you have open wounds, you don't want to use it in those areas because it can get into the bloodstream, and it's just recommended not to use it in areas that you have open wounds. And then also the plant, the leaves itself, which is what you use, the leaves have like little spikes all over them. And so you can apply those leaves directly to an area, if you're suffering from joint pain or any discomfort, related to inflammation or even arthritis, things of this nature. You can take the leaves of the comfrey plant and apply it directly to those areas. But because of those prickly, not sure what they're called, the little prickly thingamajiggies that are, that the leaf is covered in, it can irritate the skin. So if you're going to do that, it's a good idea to first blanch them in boiling hot water. Just, dunk them in hot water, pull them out, let them dry off for, a minute or two, and then go ahead and apply it. Even, as a wet compress, you can apply it directly to that area. And then you don't have to worry about, your skin being irritated by the little pricklies that are all over it. But what we're going to be doing today is harvesting it. As far as that usage, because we have it growing here, we can go out and get leaves at any time to apply directly. So we're not worried about that today. But what I am looking to do is to create a comfrey ointment. And so what's required to do that is fresh comfrey leaves. We're going to go ahead and harvest those today. We'll go out and take a look at the plant and harvest the comfrey leaves. But basically, you take those leaves and you dry them in a dehydrator or, on a screen outside. But you want to get them fully dry so that there's no chance of mold, being introduced into your ointment. But once they're fully dry and brittle, then you can then use that with oil and make an ointment out of it, a topical compound to wipe directly on those areas, which I think, when we're talking about bumps and bruises and stuff with kids, that's more practical than just, slapping a leaf on them. So we're going to go ahead and do that. That's a big thing that I'm into this year, is trying to make as much of our own medicine as we can. I want to take a much more holistic approach to our health and to all these type of things. And again, this ties into the Cookie Monster theory, because listen, every little thing that you can do for yourself and not relying on that system out there, which when it comes to the medical industry and healthcare and all these things, I mean, this is not a surprise to anyone today, hopefully, that those industries are just full of corruption. And it's just, we've lost our way when it comes to this holistic approach, this natural approach to these types of things. And so a big part of what I'm trying to do this year is to make a lot of these things from home, from these things that are freely found in nature. And in so doing, we are breaking away from that pharmaceutical system and breaking away from these systems that are, I'm sorry, but they're there to enslave us. And so each thing we can do for ourselves is one step away from dependency on that system and one step towards our own independence. And that's what I am all about here. And so that's the name of the game. So that's what we're after today, Comfrey. So let's get after it. All right, well, when I went to put these clips together and edit the video, I realized that I didn't have the video of me harvesting the comfrey. I must have not hit record. So if you're wondering why I changed clothes, I didn't. It's actually just a different day, and we're gonna go ahead and harvest more leaves here, since I said I would, and you could see it in that video. But that's all right, because we'll just get to make another batch here, so it'll all work out. So anyway, yeah, this is our comfrey plant, and originally when we bought this property, this was in my old garden, and we were trying to get things moved up here, and I was trying to bring all the perennial type plants, and we didn't have a garden yet, so I just threw it in the landscaping here, just so that, you know, we could try and keep it going. And it's been my intention to try and move it into the garden, but I keep missing the window every spring and every fall. So once again, we're approaching summer and it's still here in our landscaping, but this year I am gonna move it into the garden. It's just gonna have to be in the fall, but I plan on splitting it up into like 4 different plants and having it at each corner of the garden. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna get some leaves here for the second time. Well, I think that'll do. All right, so now we're just gonna give these leaves a good rinsing off, just to make sure nothing's on them. And this doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, we're just trying to get any dirt or anything like that off of them here. So we're gonna go ahead through and give them all a good rinse. Now we're just gonna take these out to let them air dry outside for a few minutes out in the sun. And then we'll be moving them on to the dehydrator. Interesting smell. All right, so we brought them out and just laid them out here on the deck. We're gonna let them air dry since I just rinsed them all off here. We'll give them a few minutes out here. I don't think it'll take long. Nice breeze and the sun's out in full force here today, so should be dried out here in a few minutes, and then we will move them on to the dehydrator. All right, so last step is now just to add them to the dehydrator. Now I left them out there for a little while, so they're actually somewhat dry just from the sun, but we're gonna go ahead and fill a couple dehydrator shelves with them. I actually got sidetracked, if I'm being honest, and so they were out there a little longer than what I had planned on, but half the job's done, let's just say, because I mean they are somewhat dry already, but you got to make sure that they are thoroughly dry. So regardless, if you're going to air dry them like that, they're going to have to be out there much longer than that. But I think the safest bet is, if you have a dehydrator, is to just go ahead and place it on the dehydrator and to do it that way. That way you know that these things are thoroughly dry. I might end up adding some more to this. I mean, the recipe calls for 1 cup to 1.5 cups of comfrey leaves, dried crushed leaves. I'm not sure what it's going to take to get there. It might end up being a few more than what I've collected here, so I might, go out and just grab some more, but we will see. For now, this should get us close, I think. And so we're going to work with what we got here on this batch and hope for the best. Now I would try and lay these out in a way where they're not really touching. They were much nicer to work with before they got partially dried, and then because of the little bristlies that are on the leaves, like if they get folded onto themselves, it can be a little bit of a pain. But regardless, last step, getting them on the dehydrator. Felt like I had more, but I looked out there, the wind's blowing pretty good. It wasn't when I put them out there to dry, it was just a nice little breeze. But now of course I go out and there's a bit of a wind, so it might have carried some of them away. It's hard to tell. So yeah, I might end up adding some more to this just to fill up the dehydrator, but for video making purposes, you get the point here. Just trying to get through the process so you can see what's involved, so that you too can make your own Comfrey ointment. That's what I'm calling it. Casper's Comfrey Let's try that again. Casper's Comfrey ointment. There we go. Little bit of a tongue twister, but has a little bit of a ring to it. I think this will probably work as our last shelf here. All right, so we're gonna call that good. Like I said, I think I might have lost a few out there, so I'll get some more and fill it up, but you get the point. That's all you need to do, and then just turn your dehydrator on. It's, I guess I would probably go with like a lower setting for, 12 hours or so. And, once they are brittle and they just crumble to the touch, I think it's safe to say you're probably good. So, all right, so while we're waiting on those leaves to dry, I'm thinking this is probably going to end up being a two-part video. Just the nature of the process. I think it would be kind of long for one whole video. I may end up taking the two videos and putting them together into one video, but for now I'm thinking there'll be two parts to this. First part being the discussion we had in the beginning of this one, along with harvesting the leaves and cleaning them, drying them, and then loading them onto the dehydrator. And then the next part of the video will then be, once they are thoroughly dried, we will then go over, the ointment making process as part 2 to this Comfrey ointment. That's what I'm calling it. Casper's Comfrey ointment. Little tongue twister there, but anyway, yeah, so I thought to finish this up though, for video 1, I would at least go ahead and give you the ingredients in case this is something you'd like to try at home yourself. If you have Comfrey in your garden, I would highly suggest it, because I mean, it's a little bit of a process, but it's not that much work. The Comfrey's free, and it's something that's found in the garden and nature, so it's definitely better than any ointments that you're going to buy off the shelves at the store, where when you look at the ingredient list, there's a bunch of things on there that you can't even begin to pronounce. And so I would stay away from that and stick to these type of things that you can make yourself at home. I'm going to say it's a much healthier approach, especially for putting this stuff on your skin and your children's skin. Let's get away from all that, right? I mean, we know that there's problems in those areas. And so doing these things for ourselves is a much better approach. And so that's what I'm all about here. But anyway, what you're gonna need is the Comfrey, obviously, but then you're also gonna need a carrier oil. And so olive oil, jojoba oil, you can use sweet almond oil, anything that's a high, quality carrier oil. I wouldn't use vegetable oil, but you can use, olive oil. And so any type of carrier oil like that, you will need that. And then you will also need some beeswax. And then if you want it to be scented, you can then also add your favorite, essential oil scent to it, or you can just make it as is and leave it unscented. I mean, when we're talking about ointments, it doesn't necessarily have to have a great smell to it. And, the Comfrey does carry a little bit of a smell itself. So I'm not sure if that scent will carry through, the oil or not. But yeah, the essential oil is not necessary, but if you want to have it, it's optional. And that's all you're going to need. So if you want to go ahead and get the stuff that you need for that, and in the meantime, we will get these leaves dehydrated, and then there will be a part 2 to this video where we go over the process of making the ointment. And you will need, along with those ingredients, a pan and a glass dish or something like that, because you're going to be using the double boil method, where you fill a pot up with hot water, and then you put your ingredients in the glass dish. Otherwise, you know, the stuff will just get burnt to the pan. And so you're gonna boil water underneath the glass dish, and that's what's gonna melt everything down and get everything integrated, so that then you can, from that point, add it or transfer it to your containment, which, you know, if you have just those little mason jars sitting around, you can use that. I mean, you can put it in a Tupperware container. I would suggest putting it in something either glass or tin. You know, they have those little ointment tins. That's what we will use. I have some from my my beard balms that I make, and so we'll probably just add ours into the tins. So you will need something like that for the end product. But yeah, that's all you need. So if you want to go ahead and get that stuff so you're ready to go for video 2, come back, check it out, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll be getting that one out here shortly. Till then, Casper's out.